Oh. Yeah. Hello, how are you? Good, how are you? All right. No, I just got here to see what's going on. I'll say, I'm here with Moody. I can say no, but you know what more correct? No, it's okay. That's not fair. And, hand on and killing and. Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll look at it. No, I don't have it. I was there and that. Yeah, but halfway over to Dallas. Small town. Halfway. It was small town, halfway to an hour. It's a big town, they don't want them, but they. I don't know. I can't go. If I'm ready.
Has she got this shut for a reason?
I should be there, well, but not good.
Let me find out.
Yeah, we are the operators for the finance system. Is for contract battery. You doing all right with?
I don't know, I'm here.
So.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yes. Sure. 3,7. Oh, there's a meeting. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, Don, how are you? I get that sent good. Yes, thank you.
How are you?
I was waiting to, and some I have to ask you. Hey, David.
John, how are you?
I'm good. Oh, man. I didn't bring you no paper today.
Yes, ma'am.
May I borrow one? May I borrow one?
La piece.
I'm gonna tell you, if you don't mind. Well, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. And that's true.
Don't steal my pens.
I only get a lot at these. That's it.
Okay.
And so that one's almost all the things. That's a new one.
Huh?
So
I did
they're
too.
real strict.
If I need to, like, the truck gets, I'm not. I do too.
But I'll talk to them.
All right. I do, thank you. I'll make sure I get back to you.
It's always the never been. I'm like, well, you'll only get to a month. Okay, board. And I made this announcement earlier in the hall. One of your requests last month was for us to be able to try to streamline our board meetings. And so staff,
Who said that?
Oh, that was wonderful.
Daryl did, you did,
Streamline it.
where it's on, where it's live.
Live streaming. I
Live.
Oh. I'm with you, I'm with you.
And so
think that's what she meant.
we have accomplished that for you.
Good.
And so you were live. It was set up to come on at about 10 minutes before the board meeting.
Okay.
So we are live so that anyone and Mr. Pendos had suggested YouTube, and so that's what we're doing. So this is kind of a test for us. And hopefully it'll be successful. We do, if this works, and then I've got a company that is giving us some bids so that it won't have to be as strung together as we're having to do it because it's easy. So anyway, I wanted you to know that we are live on YouTube.
Very good, thank you, Debbie. Because I was gonna bring that up today and we forgot it last week, so.
Debbie, it hasn't gone through yet.
On for her.
Yeah.
What? The one that we sent the email to the other firm? Yeah, or which one? The one to the other firm. Yeah. That was emailed right here on this laptop.
They haven't got.
No, well, yeah, that's done that. If this works. It's passing. Yeah.
Here, John.
The invite would come from me, right? Yeah, the invite would come from me. Is she looking for it from you? And it would have been sent. Let me look, because I was. Okay, so go here. Oh. It would have been about around 2:00-ish is when we sent the invite. That's me.
some bacon. Yeah. All right.
Speaking of things, the wrong one? No, it wasn't to the second one. Second one? Yeah. Yeah, because I'm the first one.
So it's not you personally.
Oh, so we can do the first one.
So we don't do this.
Yeah. Well, what if we do it on the computer?
Yeah, the impact.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
You wanna do it on the computer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Access to it.
Because for some reason, my mouth is not working. Never fails.
Let's see, you're supposed to acknowledge that I'm American.
It's past 2:30. It's past 2:30. No, but I don't think they said that ready to go yet.
Waiting on Daryl too.
I think they're having trouble getting Randy in.
There he is.
Yeah, they're trying to get him on the big TV, I think. I think he's. Where's the camera at the third property?
Yeah, I think it's on top of the, where that lot is, on top of the,
Actually, coffee bar. Yeah.
yes, sir. Right next to the Keurig, next to the Keurig machine right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what you said, but I, you know what I heard.
And that's a trick to that.
I guess, I don't know what the hell. I ain't seen that before. Know where that stuff comes from.
My son's, they took my son's mom off life support. He's waiting alone, you know, so, yeah. So they waited 2 hours. They just said, she passes, this is where all the textbook paper out is. He says, right. So now they'll get her home, but this is where it all came from. But hospice, yeah, all that.
Well, but it doesn't look like it's talking. God, John's gonna have us here till $10 tonight.
There's a long one. So
We're just trying to work through, we're going to do a presentation.
Yeah.
Who's that gonna be on the judge seat? Somebody is.
So she had it.
Let me know when.
Oh, okay.
Something about being, is it double choke for this? Think they changes, you can call it. And we just sent you know, I guess. It's got a little heat before.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. All right. We're gonna call the ECUD board meeting to order. Located at 1039 North Moss Avenue in the conference room. And this is February the 12th of 2025. And time is 2:38, so we call this meeting to order. On the, is there anybody that having non-agenda items? So we'll call these others up as the item comes up to talk about for the ones from the audience here. So the first thing on the agenda item is special presentation from Eduardo Madrid Construction. And they're gonna give us a presentation on what's going on with the ARPA funds and where they're at with what's going on. So Debbie, you want to introduce them?
Yeah, so we're pleased that Madrid is here to discuss the ARPA project. They've already begun projects. They've already trenched out, got pipe in the ground, and we're moving forward. And so we had an update in the end of January. We'll do the same thing in the end of February. And so the board requested they come this month to give the board an update. So I'll turn it over to you. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that way they'll know who you are.
Okay, yeah, my name is Ricardo Madrid.
And that's why I let him do it.
I'm the owner of Ricardo Madrid and Associates LLC. And with me is Asael Garcia. He's the superintendent, is in charge of the project. And if you have any specific questions, he's gonna be answering. What I will do is just 5-minute presentation. We don't want to take a lot of your time. Basically, what we're gonna give you is just some handouts. We're gonna give you an idea of what we're doing, what part of the project we're working on, and we're gonna show 2 small videos so you can see what phase of what we're doing. On the first page is you're gonna the first page you can see there are several red lines that are pretty much where there are 4 small projects that the whole board packet for these projects consists of those 4 sections of water line. We're gonna start with the largest one, the big one on the north side of the top. That's the one that we started. And then later on, we're gonna continue on the one on the bottom that is kind of like an L shape. And that's the one that we're gonna be working afterwards. So for now, if you turn to the next page, this is the first one that I was mentioning to you when we started. The actual construction started in January. We were able to get all materials in during the month of December. We started in January, I would say the second week probably in January. Everything that is in that line that is in red and blue is pretty much the entire line that we're working on. Whatever is in red is what we are actually I'm sorry, the red and blue is the overall project for that section. The red is what we are working currently right now. And so that's pretty much what you're gonna see. You're gonna see 2 videos for those 2 sections for the red and the 2 red sections. So you can get just some ideas. You get this video.
So, yeah, so then,
Yeah.
So they come check down and see.
And that's kind of curious there. but-
Basically, what this is on, Mercedes and Third Street,
What street?
Mercedes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going north. And, if you look at the drawing, it's pretty much we're heading that way, going north. Then we're gonna turn right, like you can see on the project, on the map that I gave you. And that's pretty much all the water line that we have been, so this video was shot probably last week or week before last. It might be, we have a little bit more progress than this, but I just want to show you this. It's a little bit easier for us to show you than trying to explain and all of that good stuff. So it's a very short video. It won't take that much. You can get a better picture of.
Well, that looks good.
All this area has already been backfilled.
Yeah, so y'all are almost, y'all are already to the road, aren't y'all?
To Arcadia?
And back on the,
Yes.
yeah, on
We've
Mercedes.
already had, yeah.
Yeah, got on pretty quick. I live right around the area and I was like, wow, they moving on.
So anyway, if any of you have any complaint from the residents or anything, don't hesitate to call here in the office. They'll let us know right away. Or what's the name of the gentleman in the field? Dimitri. Yes, you can call him as well. He's in touch with Rafael constantly.
Every day.
We're start cutting this because we're gonna continue working in this direction. The project ends somewhere around this area. So that's pretty much what we're making preparation for that. That's the video for that section, and I'm gonna show you the little video on the bottom. This one basically starts where we're gonna be tying in, and it's gonna go all the way to 1936. We're gonna do a bore there, and then I'll show you a little bit. And we're trying to move as fast as possible because we were awarded phase number 2 or the big patch number 2. So we discussed with ECUD representatives and also with the engineer that we're gonna try to squeeze the schedule as far as possible to put the other one and make sure that we don't go beyond your deadline for next year to spend.
Oh, okay, that's where the pipe is on University.
Yeah, we're gonna go this way and then it's gonna go that way and then we're gonna be crossing University. We're gonna bore under University.
Okay,
Right now, they're making preparation for the bore already.
I saw them putting that pipe together the other day and I was wondering where that was going.
Yeah, that line is gonna go here and here.
Okay,
And that line.
Is that gonna go at the bottom of that buffalo water? Or
Yeah, it's gonna go on the
edge.
Yeah, on the edge. Still, it's gonna be in some of those spots on that part. But overall, that's pretty much what the status of the project. Like I said, if you have any questions or the residents have any questions, you can reach out to Dimitri and Asael will be able to help anything.
On both ends of that, we're looking back into our system.
Yes,
Yeah, because the blue is already.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna
It's already
tie into the system, the existing water line. The last page that you're gonna have on that handout, is gonna be the next project. So we're gonna, the next section of the line that we're gonna be replacing, basically is just starting on the water tower, going south, and then going east all the way up to it's the road ranger.
The
Yeah, road
road, the
ranger.
truck stop.
The truck stops.
Mhm.
That's gonna be the next one. Once we finish the one that we're working on, we're gonna jump onto this one. And if you like, I mean, we can provide updates whenever you guys invited us. We'll be glad to be here with you.
Very well. And that's gonna be a replacement there. They replaced the line or new line?
new line.
Everything, and to me, it's my understanding, the majority of the project is replacement of water line, but upgrading the type of the water line. These lines are 14-inch water lines. So they're pretty substantial size. But,
This is all new.
That's-
oh, that would include.
Yeah, this is all new. Yeah, this-
Number two, the replacement.
Number two is totally replacement.
Yeah.
On the last page, John, on the last page, Mr. Kelly, it's all replacement.
Okay.
It's new.
Even though it's in blue,
Replacing everything.
it's really replacing that.
No, replacement.
It will help in that pressure plane area back over this way where it drops. And then when we drop low pressure at the
Oh, at the water tower.
No.
There's a sump.
the truck stop.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're actually gonna bore under 1936
Wait a minute.
and
The university.
And you know, we're gonna be linking you
and
line.
most
Tell us what you're talking about.
Whatever y'all were talking about.
Oh, no, I was just asking him on this line here, if it's replacement, but he's explaining how it's gonna go on the other side of the line that's existing there. That's a little bit, so.
Well, we're getting many people talking, know what.
That's what I was making
So I
sure.
was gonna ask you, you're gonna bore under 1936 and then under university.
Yes.
And then on this second project, you're gonna bore under Moss.
Month,
Or if there's already a line on the west side of Moss.
Yeah, there's a thing on the website.
I think they're gonna, bore. I didn't know, double check the plans. I'm not that far ahead yet. Okay. So that's the next project. I'm sticking to project number 2 at the moment.
I think there's a conduit that's already there.
Okay.
Not check that and say, it's yours.
And we'll answer that question. We'll send you some information.
All of these lines are same size, 14-inch.
Yeah, the majority of the line, so the bid package number one, the town is a little bit over 25,000 linear feet of 14-inch water line. Of course, we have smaller lines, but for services for like hydrants,
Mhm.
for the fire hydrant, we have 6-inch line for that. If we have to do some connections to other specific lines, we might have to go down with reducers to connect to that line. But yeah, the main line that we're installing, everything is 14-inch.
This 6-inch, you're talking about, how thick of a wall? This is
DR11, DR11, which generally means 11 times the diameter. But it's about like 2 inches almost.
2 inch. All the 6-inch, it's 2 inch thick.
No, but that don't feel like the feature, so
Inch, okay.
it's the HTTP.
200 kids.
It's DR11.
The font.
Anybody else have any questions for them?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Okay, well, appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you need any information, let us know.
Well, sir,
Thanks.
you can have this one. I don't need it. Oh, I know. I don't mind. I'll give mine. I'm good. Plus, it makes it easier.
See.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your.
Yes. Where do you want it?
Seems dark in here. Seems dark in here. Let's see.
Okay. Carol asked me if, for probably lots of reasons, but because we got such a long agenda, wants to move 17 and 18 up to now. In front of number 3. I got some public comments, John. I'll get to it, Tommy. Give me time to do my job. You got a problem with your answers?
No, I don't.
I'm good.
You good? Okay. We have some public comments on that. The first one is on 17 from Tommy Irwin. Hang on just a second. And you got
I got it.
3 minutes.
Excuse
number
me.
six.
Excuse me.
17. But, excuse me,
Mr. President, would you, you didn't read the item, so I want you to read it into the,
I'm sorry.
that's okay, that's what I'm here for. If you'll read it in, then we'll move it, okay? You'll read it in.
Too many people telling me my job.
I know, but I'm sorry if I'm trying to. tell you.
17, agenda item 17, termination of engagement of the Carlton Law Firm, PLLC. All right, Tommy, you're up.
All right, thank you. I can say this because I've been table with Randy Wilson way more than once. Back in November of 18, we started negotiating with the city of Odessa. Randy Wilson was very instrumental in getting a contract for the city of Odessa. He worked with him hard. He's a guy that knows what he's doing. He knows the water laws. He knows his contracts. And for y'all to look at terminating him, I think that is y'all need to table this decision. He's somebody that's been around for a long time. He knows ECUD from the inside and out. He understands the city of Odessa. And I'm not sure what the reason is for terminating Randall. The issue, I think, is a bad one. It's all that brought this up to get rid of Randall. And I hate to see it, but he understands the laws, again, the water laws and the laws of Texas about the PD3 and the TCEQ. I think y'all need that. Y'all personally need to look at this situation real hard. I think in my personal opinion, y'all been listening to some outside opinions. And I think that y'all be making really bad mistake by getting rid of that Randall. He's a good one.
Thank you for your comment. Board, we got any discussion? We got any comment?
Sure.
Troy?
John, may I say something real quick?
Sure.
I just want to say that as city councils and board of directors districts change, this is not an uncommon practice to change council, to change managers, general manager, city manager, CPAs, engineers. It's all part of the process. I understand that and I appreciate the opportunity to work with the district. Thanks.
Okay, I was having a little trouble hearing you, Randy.
I'll try to speak up. All I was saying was, this is not uncommon for people to change attorneys when there's a new council or a new board. That's just part of the process, whether it's the attorney or the managers or the CPAs or whomever. And I understand that. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys. And I wish you all the best of luck.
Randy, I appreciate that. And just to let you know, it's nothing personal on my end. I can't speak with everybody on the board, but we appreciate no more than what we've been together so far, but I appreciate what you've done. And personally, I just feel like this is something that this board needs to do.
I understand.
Okay. Do I have a motion to terminate Carlton Law Firm?
I'll say
I need a motion first.
termination, I motion, termination of engagement for Carlton Law Firm, PLLC.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Nothing.
John, real quick,
Pardon?
there are a couple matters pending from different reports. What we'll have to do is work with the new council to do a withdrawal on those items.
Yeah, well, we'll notify them, they can get with you and they can pick up where you're dropping off.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Agenda item number 18, engagement of Smith, Murdoch, Little and Bottom LLP. And we have a public comment by Johnny Earl.
You got one for the whole package? I'll get her mine when we're done.
Okay.
I'll give them.
You got the clock?
Yes. There we go.
Okay.
I looked into this Houston law firm, Smith, McDowell, Little and Bonham, LLP. This firm helps set up MUD. I'm familiar with Spring, Texas, Mayor and Cypress Spring in that area up there to help set up municipal utility districts and other special utility districts and set some up. I'm concerned about where they come in to where ECUD is today. Because my opinion is they're not set up to actually help start running and establish municipal utility districts. And that's my opinion of what I see. Again, actually, y'all took on 17, kind of makes this one mute, but it's still again, it's I think it's going to be tough. I think you guys are heading in the wrong direction on these last two. And that's my opinion.
Thank you. Okay, we got any comment from the board?
Nope. Nobody has any questions?
Daryl can answer them. He's been in contact with them if you need to. I've had one conversation with two of the legal team.
Are they aware of what negotiations we got going on with the city and stuff like that?
Well, they will be made, they said it easily, they would get with Randy and transition.
Work it over. Okay. Good enough for me.
And this is from the board, from the law firm to the board's director. Explain what Discovery.
This covers everything that they, who they are, payment provisions, pretty much, if there's any special conditions. I mean, it's pretty much just, contracted what they do. There are several, that's what I didn't give y'all here is, there are several attorneys on board. And you can see, Nicole Pierce is on right now. Hello, good to see you again. So Nicole will be the one that's pretty much, if y'all decide, will be the one that's be representing us most of the time. She has a whole team behind her, and their specialties are muds.
I've had a conversation with her and one of the other legal on there, and I got most confidence in them. They can pick up where Carson left off, and I don't think there'll be a problem. Nicole, do you have anything you want to tell us or say?
I just wanted to introduce myself. Good afternoon. Thank y'all for having me. Like Director Darrell said, my name is Nicole Pierce. I'm an attorney with Smith, Murdoch, Little and Bonham. We're a law firm based in Houston. We have 10 attorneys, and we work alongside a great staff of legal assistants and secretaries. The firm has been around for almost 80 years. We represent close to about 100 districts, primarily mud and water districts. We do represent about 10 emergency service districts related to the fire and EMS services across the state of Texas. I have worked with special purpose districts for my entire career, coming up on 15 years. And the firm is exclusively, we only represent special purpose districts. So we do represent districts that are going through the process of creation, but we also work with water districts that are developed and fully established. We work alongside their tax office for tax setting process, their elections departments for future election needs. We work alongside their staff and consultants to help with the day-to-day operations of the district. And so, our role as general counsel is to ensure that the district stays in compliance with the rules and statutes that govern water districts. I'm happy to answer any questions related to our fees for general service, for bond counsel services. I know Director Darrell was giving you all a copy of our engagement letter. So I'm happy to answer any specific questions related to that or any other questions that I can answer for the board.
I don't have anything. Are you gonna be able to make it out here next month for our board meeting?
Yes, I can arrange to make that trip and come up there for y'all's monthly meeting.
Okay. Did you hear the comment from the public a while ago?
Yes, I did.
Would you like to comment back on that for anything in defense, or is it worth it?
Just to reiterate that we do work with districts that are very established, very developed, similar, to the situation that your district is in. So while we do help create districts, there's been many districts that we have had a relationship with, long-term relationships, and work with them, on the day-to-day operations. And we attend their monthly meetings and like, again, assist with, all the compliance and reports and rules that govern the respective districts.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Well, let's take a vote on it. Do I have a motion for the engagement of Smith, Murdahl, Little and Bonham LLP law firm?
I'll make a motion.
Motion was made by Jesus, second.
I'll second.
Roy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Yes.
Thank you, Director. Looking forward to working with all of y'all.
I'm looking forward to working. Thank you, ma'am.
I got some other stuff I gotta sign. Well,
So he'll just sign this and we get this back to you, correct, Nicole?
Yes, y'all can sign that and just scan and email a copy back.
okay. I got some other stuff signed there today, so. Okay. Now we're back on.
Three.
Yeah, we're on 3. Discuss, consider, and take any action necessary regarding ECUD audited 2024 financial report from Haney and Company, the ECUD board. We don't have any public comment on it, so. Debbie, you want
Well,
to wait till the end, or
no, we can go ahead and do it.
to the end, if anybody's got any questions to ask
So,
about this report?
sure. So during the work session, Hannah was here with Haney and Company, and she did a presentation on the financial statements and the audit. And then from there, it was just a couple of days later that they had completed the audit and sent a draft for us to review internally. And so after reviewing it and feeling like it was adequate, then that draft was sent to all the board members for your review. And so at this time, my recommendation is for the board to approve it as accepted and presented.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the ECUD audited 2024 financial report from Haney and Company as presented.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, passes. I did mention we do have a forum this morning. I forgot to mention. Have a forum. It's Troy Walker, Daryl Pondo, Jesus Sanchez, and John Kelly, and Jimmy Pond is absent. Okay, agenda item 4, discuss, consider, and take any action as necessary regarding annexation petition of Permian Home Ventures LLC for Block 16, Lot 1718, Western Hills Division of Ector County, Texas. Y'all look at the
Yes.
deal. Okay, we got a motion to,
I make a motion, we approve the necessary actions regarding the annexation petition of Permian Homes Ventures
for block 16, lots 17 and 18, Western Hills subdivision of Ector County, Texas.
I second.
First Troy and second Darrell, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 5, discuss, consider, take any action necessary regarding annexation petition of manual revolt for block 20, lots 7 and 8, Western Skies Edition of Ector County, Texas. Motion?
Again, I make a motion that we approve the necessary action regarding the annexation petition of Manuel Revolt for block 20, lots 7 and 8, Western Skies Edition, Ector County, Texas.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4. Okay, agenda item 6, discuss, consider, and take action and necessary regarding the annexation petition of Triple M Diesel LLC for block 43, section 10, Charlemagne Estates subdivision. I had a question on that, Debbie, on the paperwork. One place it shows residential, another place it shows
I
commercial.
think that was corrected. Donna.
Yeah, it's,
It is, it was commercial on the one I saw.
it is.
I did see that too, but I think I got it changed somehow.
At the beginning, it was
Yeah.
residential and then it was redone to commercial.
Okay, and then it said they had to have an engineer, or is that just somebody that's doing the construction for the 2-inch valve and line?
Yes. Yeah, that's who's doing it. So-
Yes, that's just it,
Mhm.
the construction company. And we're sure strictly commercial and not RV park or anything like that with that big on line.
Yes,
They have to sign something saying if it's an RV park, don't they?
they have to tell us what it's for. So it's for commercial use and not an RV park.
Okay. And that's the property. They haven't done anything to it yet on 42nd.
Mhm.
I mean, the ones on the other side, both sides, they've already started stuff.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I guess I'm stepping on everybody's toes
No,
today.
you're fine, you're fine.
Regarding necessary actions for the annexation petition of Triple M Diesels LLC for block 43, section 10, Charlemagne Estates subdivision.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 7.
Good.
All consent agenda items listed or considered, this is on our past minutes, are considered routine by the board will be enacted by a single motion. No separate discussion or action on any of the items is necessary unless directed by a board member. Discuss, consider, and take actions necessary regarding the minutes of January 7th, 25 workshop session and January 28th of 25 regular board meeting. Discuss, consider, and take action as necessary regarding the accounts payable for January 12th of 2025. Do I have a motion?
I can't make that motion. I wasn't here for the workshop.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
I just didn't get a read on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. I'll read it out.
Okay. Number 8, discuss, consider, and take any action that's necessary regarding possible application for a certificate of convenience and necessity from the Public Utility Commission of Texas and the costs associated with such action. And we have a comment from the public, Tommy Irwin.
Thank you. On this CCM, I don't know that y'all individually have looked into it or talked to attorneys. I made 3 trips on my own to go to Austin to talk to lawyers about a CCM. One of the biggest things that come to us is whenever we started to go to a CCM, looking at it, you come in and the lawyers and their CPAs come in and do a financial audit, even though you've already got one. They will do another financial audit to satisfy TCU and the PUC. That's the first thing. Second off, the biggest thing is, I think what somebody's trying to get y'all to do is that ECUD is going to have to pay for 200 feet of a water line going to somebody's house, not a business, just a residence. I need to look at that one real hard. because there's probably about 1,700 pieces of property out here that y'all have looked at. I think when y'all was running for election, that they need water. Okay? You guys are gonna have to be able to afford to install 200 feet of pipe from an ECUD water line to their property. If it's that far away or further, you're gonna be responsible for the first 200 feet. Did y'all know this? There's other things we're looking into also. The CCN is a whole different animal what you're dealing with today. So I advise you strongly to start talking to some lawyers that do this, that establish CPA. This law firm y'all just hired, I'm not sure that they do that. And if they do, then y'all made a good decision on that. But it is a lot. It is a lot to go with the CCN. I think y'all need to look at that one hard, very hard, and good luck with it.
Thank you for your comment.
Well, right now, we're just looking at it and considering it. I think we need to follow through with it and see what's involved.
Okay, John, I have no problem looking into it. I know that I've looked into it personally because of the things that I've been told. I didn't, I wanted to find out. And it does tie us to about 200 foot, and that's quite a bit of money, up to 200 feet. And I know that the process of getting this CCN number is not a cheap venture either. So just make you aware of those things that I've looked into.
Why is it we have on our website then that we are a CCN?
I think because when we merge some of the data, set up the website, there's still a few areas that we need to engineer and take. Stated that for years or whatever. I have no idea.
We're straightening it out.
But we'll take that off.
Could we take some advice from?
So
Well, that's what I was gonna say. After this, let's go ahead and approve it to investigate it. And then we'll turn it over to the lawyer because they've told us they've handled this before. So, isn't that right? But CCN.
Do you want to table this or you want to put it approved?
No, I want to approve to go ahead and investigate it, do more follow through, see what it's gonna cost, verify the 200, just follow on through it. I'm not gonna take Tommy's word for it. I'm gonna find out myself.
That's why I did too.
Well, nothing personal.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You have big shoulders. Okay. Do I have a motion to discuss, consider, and take actions necessary regarding possible application for a certificate of convenience and necessity from the Public Utility Commission of Texas and the cost associated with such action?
A motion.
Got a motion from Darrell. Second,
I'll second.
second from Jesus, all in favor? Aye. Was that affirmative?
Yes, yes.
Item 9, discuss, consider, and take action as necessary regarding the installation of a security wall in the lobby of ECUD. And we got a public statement from Tommy Irving.
Going to be interesting to listen to what is a quote security wall. That's going to be pretty cool.
Well, we heard from the personnel that there's some clients that act pretty violent when they come in. So we want to go ahead and build a wall across from here to there so that customers don't have access to the rest of our offices and stuff like that. So that's
So you're
fine.
not gonna put up a glass here in front of the girls?
Well, there would be a barrier, and this was an idea from Randy to actually put a, just where nobody can get past
That
back in there.
Yeah.
And there's a security wall there with the glass that they can.
Have we looked at the cost of this yet?
No, we need to investigate that.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem protecting you guys if that's what we need done. I have no problem with that at all, but I just didn't know, how much the cost is and if we can swing it.
Well, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
We need to find out what it's gonna cost.
I would definitely be interested in looking into it for their safety. 100%.
Want to say something?
Yes, I haven't used that in my premium. If y'all give a JSA, they may still have a claim to what you want to do. JSA, they look at this at one time.
My personal opinion on it, if we do put something up, as far as the irate customers, I wouldn't jack with them if they get really bad, but sometimes it may be too late. I call the police on them, sheriff, and take care of the rest of them.
Sometimes it takes a little bit for them to get
I
there.
understand. And I know some of them can get pretty nasty sometimes, but if by chance we decide to pursue this and put a wall up or whatever, I think we need to consider collecting the money and do away with the ADR. That's gonna create more expense and possibly a different software. I don't know,
And more employees.
but I think it ought to be considered. I don't know if it's taking more employees or not, but that'd be something we need to look at, but,
Like a check cashing place.
I don't
look at.
It's definitely something to consider.
I mean, employees need to be secured, feel safe when they come to work, so. And this is West Odessa. They get a little bit rowdy, that's why we moved out here. Because we don't want to tolerate anybody.
How do you feel about having a wall up there for your people?
So, while I think it is a good idea to put a wall up to secure the employees, sometimes unless you're here for 7-8 hours a day, you don't really realize some of the individuals that come in and out, and sometimes they're rant and rave, and it has zero to do with their water bill. It has to do with multiple things that have to do with either the city or the county, because they sometimes get us confused. And so sometimes it's not our customers, sometimes it's somebody else's customers. But as good stewards, we listen to them and try to help them and point them in the right direction. So I would welcome from the board for direction to give me the ability to go out and look at getting some estimates on what it would cost and maybe some different options for us of how it would be designed and set up. I'll be glad to reach out to the individuals that did the addition to the office space that we contracted with and get them to come out and look at it, and welcome anyone who wants to come and give us the bill. That's the direction in which the board wants to give me.
So, for the time being, why don't we
Table it.
well, I don't know if we need to table it. We can
Well, the way it's written,
give her direction to go ahead and investigate it.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
check it
please.
out,
maybe get 3 bids. I mean,
because
3 bids, 3 different ideas, whatever, and then let's bring ideas back and then have them all bid it to the one idea that we want the most, or.
but I got a feeling it's gonna be quite expensive.
Well, we'll have to get an idea, and then if it exceeds a certain dollar amount, then I have to go out to RFQ. We'll have to go out for bid. So I'll just kind of get a ballpark of what it might cost and then determine if we're gonna have to go out to a RFQ, if that's what the board wants me to do.
Okay.
But I'll be glad to do that, if that's the instruction that you give me.
We did that, or do we need?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll need to, just give in the motion, somebody says to be.
Make a motion, we get Debbie to look into the security wall and the cost of it.
I'm thinking it, or, Jesus.
I'll second.
Y'all all jumped all over that one.
Well, I mean,
It's for y'all's protection.
For your protection.
Yeah.
I don't want to come to no funerals out here.
And I appreciate that very much, board.
Discuss, consider, and take action as necessary regarding district portable meter agreements. And we have a public comment from Mr. Irvin.
Yes. On these water meters, I understand where you're coming from. please make sure that this water meter ceiling has an RPZ in it. That is a backflow device to make sure that these trucks cannot reverse flow and run their water back into this system. That's what it's designed for. These trucks, not only vacuum trucks, some have got low pressure on them. If you got any kind of low pressure anywhere, talking about over there on Knox and that dip, you know, Montana's Draw, that's a big one right there. And there's some other places that you've got a system runs at about 40 PSI, and it's pretty easy to backflow. So whatever you do on this hydrant meter, please make sure that it's got an RPZ in it. That's called a reduced pressure plane zone, is what it's called. Any water that comes backwards through that meter, it dumps on the ground. It will not come back into your hydrant. And they're expensive. Don't get me wrong, they are expensive. But whatever you do on this right here, make sure you stay with that.
Do they have them now?
Yes,
They do.
all of it.
Yeah,
They're about,
they should have them.
the assembly itself is around $3,000 last time I looked.
I don't think we're in the market for changing up the valves or anything. No, they're fine like they are as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, thank you.
You're talking more about the agreement, or the rental agreement.
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
What you're-
Right now, it's only for commercial use. It's, but people that can afford them and they want to rent them can, if it's not for commercial use. And, I would like to change that to, if you can afford them, you can get them. Even if it's not for commercial use.
Who would need it besides somebody doing commercial? I mean, give me.
Are you talking about one of the guys that goes around and fills up all everybody's tanks over there and all that?
Well,
That's kind of commercial on it, but I understand where Sis is coming from, because there might be somebody that lives out west that says, you know, if I had a meter, I'd just go get my water there instead of, that way he knows it's potable water.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I completely understand. I'm just trying to
yeah, I mean,
see what scenario, because if it's one of the guys that sells to those people, then
No.
that's still commercial.
yeah,
But if it's just a homeowner wanting it, or, you know,
yes, if homeowners can afford it and they want it, they can get it.
I don't know.
Not for resale, not like for personal use.
Personal use.
How are we gonna monitor?
They're all
Monitoring
monitored
sales.
electronically, aren't they?
but the volume, I mean, if they're using,
Oh, wait.
Oh,
they're using 10,000.
Do you-
sorry.
Well, like these guys, if they're buying water from somebody else, the homeowner, they probably can buy it from ECUD instead of buying it from somebody else. And they'll create some revenue for them.
Well-
They're buying it from the hydrant.
But when we get the water station finished, they can buy it from
That's
us
what
with it.
So I think this, yeah, once the water station's built, I think this is,
A moot point.
yeah. Exactly.
Is
Because the water station will be a lot cheaper than the rental.
Rental of the meters.
Yeah, you're got a point. But if I'm not mistaken, the meter rates for the water, like in our, we pay $65 for 2,000 gallons. I believe the meter is $12. Oh no,
damn, isn't it?
somewhere around for 1,000 gallons. $16
$1,000
or
or
$12 for that one.
Hold on. Can we ask Debbie on that one to make sure that we got numbers right?
What you're talking about, I think, more, it's not just the agreement on the valve. It's the price that they're having to pay for the water they buy through those rented valves. That's the rub there. And I agree.
Because it's cheaper.
A hell of a lot cheaper.
Okay.
But
I got you. I got it.
can you answer some of these?
So on the rates are of course different for a portable meter. The deposit on a portable meter is different and the agreement but the same is their late charge fee. So with a meter, when they get a meter and just to kind of touch on a subject that we discussed last month or in December, I can't really remember, but you'll remember we purchased new portable meters so that they had GPS on them. So we'd be able
Figure out
to
where they are.
figure out where all of our meters are. And so we're in the process because the meters come, we have to put the backflow on them, and then we're gradually changing them out with the customers that we currently have. And so that deposit is for one of those meters is $3,500. We're having every one of those individuals come back in and sign this new agreement that was established. And it takes anywhere from 2.5 months to 3 months to get a meter. So we will not, unless the board tells us, we're requiring a person to put down a deposit before we order them a meter if they're not already an existing meter customer. Does that make sense?
So we're
So-
not upfront the cost.
Yes, so they pay us up front because otherwise you could be ordering meters and then
Sit there.
they don't come get them because they don't have any skin in the game per se. So that is a current requirement. That doesn't mean that after today's meeting, that's why we have to move forward. It's whatever this board decides. With the portable meter, they also get a hydrant key. So they get a hydrant key to turn on the hydrant to put their meter. So they will be responsible for the key and the portable meter. So anyone and everyone who comes and gets one will have access to your water. Whether they put a portable meter up to it or
Just dump it on the ground.
they were to put up, let's just say, a fire hose, and they don't run the water through a meter, and they fill something up. They will have access to that. So there's a lot to consider. Whatever this board decides is what we will do.
They can just bypass the meter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I don't like that, because I want to say I've seen that done a few times.
I saw it done when they were doing the construction over there on Sierra and Trip.
And that's.
We saw it done.
And
One
we've
of our
had this
guys saw it.
discussion before, because I hate, that's my biggest pet peeve is somebody that steals from, especially
Everybody.
community that makes it think that they're, I mean, to me, they think they're better than everybody else.
Yep.
Pay for something, so, yeah, it's something that we've really got to consider as to who's getting them. So,
I'm not saying that everybody's not trustworthy, but I know there's untrustworthy out there.
some people just think that, well, it's water, it's just water.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
Until you pay for it every month.
You had
And you'll
mentioned,
be able to keep up with the meters because they'll have a
Yeah.
GPS on them. And so, I
But you
mean,
can't tell when they're getting water if they're actually using the meter or not, because that's just
the only way that
good stewardship.
but,
I will tell you that when we've had this happen before, I mean, I called the SO's office, have them try to send somebody out there. By the time our crew got out there, they had already left and turned the hydrant off. And so, sometimes it's easy to police and sometimes it's not.
Yep.
And so what I don't want, this is what I don't want for the board or for anyone, is that to not share this information, because in the event that as we get a water bill from the city of Odessa, your expense went up, but there wasn't a show of revenue that went up with it. And so
Are there certain places they can? that are
Any fire
designated?
hydrant.
well, we try to define where we want them to, because again, if we have one person, everyone that has a portable meter using the same hydrant, then that's going to create problems with the distribution of the water throughout the system. And then that's going to cause PSC problems. So we tried to designate where we want them to get the water.
and, you had mentioned that anybody can buy a hydrant key at Home Depot, right?
I don't think you can. I've had one for when I worked with the fire department, and half time we couldn't get ours to work, but I mean, I haven't seen them anywhere else that you could buy them.
Just fire department.
Yes, sir. The fire department does have
And
one.
I've seen that some of these like new fire hydrants have a different key.
Yeah.
Totally different. I was like,
And I have not gone to Home Depot or Lowe's to try to find one. That is what I was told.
What, when they finish the new, water station out on, isn't it gonna be on Knox somewhere?
Yes,
Or
sir.
the,
Trip, Knox.
Knox, what's the race gonna be there? Where,
We haven't established the rates. The board will help establish those rates.
I mean, I see where Jesus is coming from. If a person can afford the meter and everything,
Mhm.
he can save himself. It'll pay out in a year, but he can save himself a heck of a lot of money because of the amount that we're charging a truck to go out there and fill up, and the amount we're paying as a homeowner or as commercial through a meter, through ECUD meter. And I think something needs to be done about that personally. I never have. When I heard what they was having to pay, I didn't like that. And this, using the excuse of somebody's got to pay for the maintenance on the lines. Well, they're using our same lines that the homeowners using, and they ought to be having to cough up the money. So if we're going to do anything, I don't really have a problem necessarily with the contract, although a person that can afford it should be able to. But I think we need to change the pricing on what we're charging.
Are you saying because commercial's cheaper?
Yeah.
Well, if you have
Well,
a,
trucks are cheaper. When you pull a truck up there, but it doesn't sell a lot cheaper.
if you have a portable meter and you get water from hydrants, a lot cheaper than if you're a homeowner.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
So,
and then a lot of those are reselling it.
Yeah, and like she said, like I said, I've seen trucks filling up without a meter.
Yeah.
I have.
so would you be okay to table this and let's see about
It's
changing the pricing?
it's a all board deal.
Well, I know, but you're the one that
It's your-
brought it up.
your meeting,
Why I'm
it's your-
asking you.
I'll make a motion. And if y'all wanna table it or pass it or whatever. It's everybody's decision. I don't mind.
I think we try to fix
The rates first.
the rates first.
Yeah, so I make a motion that we table this discussion as per se for now till the next meeting, but we do bring up the rates at our next meeting and see if we can't make those more equitable.
I said,
Good with that, John?
Yeah, I'm good with it. So, Roy, you're first, you're second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes,
So-
ma'am.
So do you, in this process, do you want me to try to put together some
Like-
rates and a deposit recommendation to the board?
Yes, ma'am, and what, commercial is being charged this and residential is being charged this, so we can kind of get those little numbers a little closer together maybe, or whatever the board decides.
Yeah, because what I don't want is I don't want you to come with the agenda item with nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So you'll-
I depend on you for all that background stuff.
Troy, I think we're getting things kind of mixed up. We have a commercial rate and we have a residential rate,
Right,
but the meter itself has a different rate.
that's what I'm
So-
saying. Figure out where those
We
rates,
gotta,
figure out where those rates lie,
We're talking
And then
about.
figure if we- how to figure what's more equitable for everybody in between those three numbers.
Yeah, so you're talking about a meter rate.
Yes, sir.
if we,
Because right now it's just a commercial meter.
Right.
So that's what I meant to say. It didn't come out right. I apologize. The commercial meter rate versus the residential rate.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yeah, we're on saying commercial portable meter,
Portable meter.
right?
Do we understand? I just make it mud.
So I just want to make sure, what I don't want is I don't want the board to meet in March where you get your package and you don't have some.
What we
rates
want.
or something to look at when you come. So I'm looking, is that what you want me to do?
Is that what you want?
You want me to put something together so that,
Yes, ma'am.
and then y'all, I'll do something prior to the board to send out to you. And then y'all scribble on it, what you want changed individually, not as a group, and then send it back to me, and then we'll modify it to 2 or 3 examples that you can decide which one you want to vote on.
Yes, ma'am.
Would that be acceptable?
That would be awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because that way, if the rates change, they decide, hey, we don't want it no more. They're not stuck with it. Or works towards their advantage.
Okay. Agenda item 11, discuss, consider, and take action necessary regarding updates to the district website. Anybody else got anything besides me on anyone?
No, I just, the one thing on the website that I did see, not that I have anything against, Landgraf, but we don't want to show that we're the pictures that are on there with the,
Like,
yeah, we don't want to show that we're choosing sides, electioneering with these pictures on there.
I mean, because ECUD stated when we was running for the board, they didn't endorse any candidate, and that kind of looks like maybe ECUD is endorsing somebody.
Not anything.
If we get more pictures of employees and their jobs, I like that.
We have them. I kind of did it for local reasons.
Yeah, and then, yeah, well, yeah, I know, but yeah.
And then,
There's usually a reason.
And I probably knew that, we knew there was a reason, but it just, electioneering, I just, yeah, I don't,
We'll take them down.
like John said, more pictures of employees, or just jobs, I mean.
Oh, I have plenty.
Eduardo was, huh?
I have plenty of.
Like the video, if Eduardo, that was something like that, so people can see, hey, this is what's going on.
and then, got it? Didn't mean to interrupt, sorry.
No, sorry.
And then I think it's under news and notices. Let's remove the 3 letters from the Carlson Law Firm on the AG's opinion, and then I think DA's got a letter on there too. I mean, all that's for a moot point now. There's no need to get being on there.
Okay.
And then over there where it insinuates we have a CCN,
We'll take care of that too.
remove that. And this is just me, but under the mission statement, I'm not sure if that, I can't speak for the other guys, but I'm not sure if that clarifies what this board's mission statement is. Because before, according to what's been said, is that it wasn't ECUD's job to provide water, it's just their job to distribute it. And consensus of this board is we think it is part of their job to furnish water. Ever how we can do it, whether it's going out through grants and people that's on there that's hadn't opted to get on there or whatever. So I personally think that needs to be reworded.
If you'll write what you want. and get
Again,
it
I
to
found
me.
it out the other day. It makes me look smart.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
Good. So if you'll just send it to us, well, then we'll post it.
Okay, I'll see what I can come up with.
He's using AI. Oh, my goodness.
Do we really need to vote on that?
No.
Okay. Number 12. Last one. Discuss, consider, and take any actions necessary regarding the approval process for utility contractors to perform utility work within the district's boundaries. Tommy, everyone comment?
Yes, the contractors that actually come out here and do work in any municipality, whether it be a city or another special interest district or a supply utility district, those contractors have to have a Class C employees, to be a Class C employee working for that company, not contracting, working for the company. That's first off. Second off, their bond requirements have to be a lot higher than what they are just contracting, even out in the oil field. A whole lot, a whole different animal. You can have maybe Madrid right here or something like that. The reason why that the list is pretty short and it's regulated is because whenever somebody applies to be a contractor for a municipality or city or something, then you have to go through and make sure that that person or that company is qualified to work for a municipality. They have a whole different set of rules, Public Utility Commission, TCQ, even the TDR got a little bit of input in it. And it's very, very difficult to work in municipalities per state rules. Just having somebody come out and say, okay, I can lay a pipeline, that there's a person employed by that contract. Those are really, really big right there. So if you're looking at having a contractor that's just out here with a backhoe and won't play water lines, you get yourself in trouble in New York second. Been through that, done that one. Good luck with that.
Well, about the contractors, we always use people that are on the city's contracting list, right? And I'm sure that they're gonna have certain requirements like you just mentioned, right? All I say is why not have our own contractors like and have the same requirements that the city has for the contract.
So,
Or PUC or TWC.
Right.
so pretty much you're just wanting to find
More contractors.
more
Yeah.
contractors that, so more choices as to
Right,
products.
with the same requirements.
Yeah, same requirements. It's
Just
just,
not a guy like with the backhoe, like you said,
yeah, I'm not,
right?
I agree with that. And anytime we can get more contractors, it'd be a better process.
local, especially local,
It's local.
or I mean,
Wherever, but just,
anybody.
we don't have a what, list of requirements that the city has,
So
and clone that.
Mr. Sanchez, in your packages, there is a draft. If you'll turn your package to the draft.
What page?
you'll-
Yeah, then it's the mark, it's a blank page there. Got after this and not pull that. You got it done back pretty far. You get close, so you get
Careful in.
I may have gone too far.
it's right after Jesus' request there.
I request we put page numbers on these next time.
Yeah, I don't want to be going.
They get mad at me because I couldn't do it. I'm the cook, look at us.
So I had a conversation with Director Pando about this same issue. And I think it was maybe in December that we had that conversation. And so when we had that conversation, we talked about that we used this, the board decision in the past was to use the same set of rules and regulations that the city of Odessa used. And so the rule of practice was that they went to the city of Odessa's website, filled out the application, met all the requirements and the whole gamut. And then if they were approved, then they were put on the city's list. And then we just used that list. And so it put the liability on the city council and their ability to approve it and check all their references. So at that time, I took the liberty to take and mirror basically what the city does, only instead on your draft copy, it says Ector County Utility District. And so now that liability, the approval process would leave the city and move to this board. And so as if approved, then what we'll do is we'll use these guidelines, and then as contractors come in, then we'll leave it up to the board, just like we do annexations, for the board to approve them.
I'm all for getting new vendors. I have no problem with that. But opening my family up to a lawsuit because one of us didn't do their due diligence and checking somebody's background is not my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'd like to leave something to my kids when I die. And if getting sued and killing some people is what comes the repercussions of this, because she's right. The city is a lot more insured for this than we are. That scares the hell out of me. I do not want to get caught in that and be responsible. Well, it doesn't matter how you voted, Troy, you're on the board. You know, that's my concern. And it's self-preservation. I admit that. But
Yeah, if I recall, that was my concern also with
yeah,
when we talked, because I was like, okay, I said the liabilities are for us.
yeah, I like the liability being on somebody else, to be honest. I've got to use a restroom.
Okay, but even if we've been doing like, we keep doing what we've been doing in the past, how is the city liable for a company that's doing a job in the county?
Because we're part of their ETJ, and they've been approved, and the prior board approved that anyone that was approved through the city of Odessa. So if the city of Odessa approved them, then the board, it felt like they had the cushion because it fell back on them, and it's their list that they provide. And so the person who's going to contract them is using a city approved list. It's not an approved list from ECUD's board.
But that don't make us any more covered than it's just one other little layer there that we're assuming that they vetted everybody, and so we're gonna say that's good. That don't mean we're gonna get sued or for whatever reason. If something happens.
No, people can sue people for anything. So my job is to give you the information that I have so that you can make the best decision available. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. If you want ECUD to post this, and then ECUD take the approved contractors that is currently approved by the city, and then as people come in and fill out the application, bring those applications to the board moving forward, absolutely, that's exactly what we'll do.
But we'll have to check if they are really approved. That would fall on us.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if we find somebody, or you talk to somebody, or you know somebody that wants to do that, just have them do it at the city, and that eliminates our problems. The only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because I'm scared of the liability.
Personally, or ECUD, neither one of us can afford a lawsuit.
Well, ECUD can close down, but Troy Walker will be buried.
You know?
But I mean, I did prepare a draft for you so that
Yeah.
if the board decided, then we could move forward with it.
Just something we want to discuss later on, or.
It's up to you.
One of those.
Don't look at me, you brought it up. That is your name on there.
I know, but it's very deep.
I mean, I think we have a good spirit there to try to get more. And I agree 100% if we could find somebody else to do it, but the liability is the only thing I worry about. And it would be the same thing as them going to the city and filling it out.
Well,
as it
I'll
would
tell
be
you
with
what.
us.
I'll make the motion if it's up to you, if you want it or not. It's that simple.
Make a motion like it is here.
Right, and if y'all pass it, good. If you don't pass it, good. I mean, it's up to y'all.
Okay.
It's how y'all feel. Not how I feel. How everybody feels. Okay? I'll make the motion to consider and take action as necessary regarding the approval process for the utility contractors to perform utility work within the district's boundaries. But second. Nobody's second.
It does.
Gotcha. That's
Where is? Okay, 13.
Mr. President, you need to, for the record, say that the motion dies for a second.
Okay, agenda 12.
No.
Huh?
I need you to, you need to say the motion dies for lack of a second for the record.
I was fixing to, but in
Okay.
a roundabout way.
Okay.
Getting on short term.
Emergency service.
Agenda item number 12, the motion was denied. So I got to repeat it.
No, just say lack of
Just
a,
lack of a second.
lack of a second.
Oh, for lack of a second.
There you go. Thank
Because
you.
I checked, we don't have no word that says lack of a second.
That's okay.
It's just motion denied. Anyhow, agenda item number 6 fails for lack of a second.
We're looking at number 12.
Huh?
Oh, we're number 12.
That's what I said.
Say six.
What did I say, 6?
Yeah, you did.
I'm a little behind.
I told you.
Yeah. Item 12 failed because of lack of a second. We got that? You got that now?
We got it.
No, it's,
We got it.
sorry about that. Okay, item 13. Discuss, consider, take action as necessary regarding district policy to expand the ECUD customer base. Okay. What I would like to do, and see if we can start, is, and the district's pretty big, so we can look on the boundaries and look and see. You didn't fill out an agenda item. I'm pretty sure I did.
If you didn't, John, I'm okay. Appreciate what you got on doing.
Because I'm a nice guy, I'll let you go ahead and speak.
Thank you. Okay, this part's gonna be really interesting because we've tried this in the past. We have found out, and I looked at this again, for some people that know what they're doing. Right now, from what I understand, there's no grants from federal, state to help with water meter taps or service lines. Now, what I would like for y'all to do, and I got caught in a trap last year to an extent, is whenever the county has a budget hearing starting in June, you need to be up there and say, I need a budget, put in some taps and ECUD. You want to expand it for taps, like you said, Jesus, to sell more water, then the county has a tremendous amount of money. There's some financial stuff, partnering up with ECUD, you can do the taps. Other than that, ECUD doesn't have enough money to run a bunch of water lines out there. Plus, in the last 5 years, there's been about 86,000 feet of new piping put in. And you have to give these people access to water. If they want to tie to it, they can, if they not. You guys run home, people can't afford a water tap. The county can help y'all afford that. They do have the money. So when the budget hearings come up, and run up there and jump up and testify for these people out here. That's what you need to be doing. Anyway, we need some help on that and I'll hit you. Other than that, I wish you guys the best of luck.
And I do know, I talked to Billy Hall and Mike Gardner about this personally. And that was both their recommendations also,
But
that we could quit spending so much money towards sheriff's.
Demetrio got up there last year and told them they could put in 30 a month. And I haven't seen it yet. So
No, we don't. Our average of putting in new taps is about 4
a month.
to 5 a month. That
Well,
average is-
He got up for the commissioners and said, I can do 30 a month.
We may have the ability, but we don't have the,
Yeah, and I think
Well,
that might have been miss.
That's, well,
Then,
misconstrued or whatever, but
I
that's
wouldn't-
what it came across.
Yeah, so,
Uh,
but we can put in
Well,
one a day, but,
what I would like to do,
okay.
I mean, we got, look at our boundary. There's tons of people in our district that, for whatever reason, they may have chose not to get on the,
or may not even know they can.
possibly, I mean,
Or have no service.
it
Yeah.
needs to be pursued. And see where the best bet would be to start. And I mean, I looked at it the other day and some places are 20 homes, just one right after the other that don't have, or they're not listed as ECUD customers, but they're in the ECUD district. So my suggestion is, I'd like you, and I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna say 10 a month. Try and get 10 new accounts the first month with somebody that's already in the district
With a water line available.
where we don't have to do nothing but tie into our line and hook a meter up.
Just make a tap on.
Yeah, do a tap for and a meter. And I'm gonna suggest, must be up to y'all, but just offer them the tap at whatever the base is. And if they shy away from that, tell them we'll do it a one-time offer at half the price. And if they don't want to do that, the next time it's full price while they decide to get onto it.
Yep. My idea was what somehow we could get out, let the people in the district know, hey, from this time to this time, if you sign up, you want to say you want to tie into the tap from this month to this month, you'll be discounted on your tap connection. But it's only
We're on the website.
Yeah, it's only a certain time frame. And
Or a certain limit, because if we
yeah,
were to do
Yeah.
1,000 at half price, we're gonna lose our ass.
Yeah, yeah.
But, if we do 10 a month, if you want new service and you're one of the first 10 clients, and you agree and pay your money up front, we'll get you a half price tap if you're the first 10 customers of the month.
And we're having to pay wages already anyhow.
Yeah,
so the labor's there.
yeah.
It's just.
It's just
And I think,
materials.
I mean, we're making a little bit of money. We ain't getting rich or nothing.
Right.
I think we can afford to discount
What about 10? What if we start with 10 and go from there?
well, that's what I say. 10 shouldn't be. It'll
It should-
take a while to get your ducks in a row and get.
And then she can kind of give us an idea, okay, we're selling, we could sell 20 a month, but they stopped at 10 because we gave away the discount. She figures out where we are money wise, and if we can extend that to 20, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm saying if we can do 10 and another 5 to it the next month.
Well, as long as it's financially not killing us, I have no problem with that. Yeah.
And the discounted meters, I mean, I don't think we can do that from now on, but say for the first, I don't know, pick out what's a half inch meters. They say 2,500.
20, yeah, it's 27.50.
Okay, so half price is 13.
13, yeah.
And for y'all being easy, but I wouldn't be opposed to financing it for them. I know you're gonna frown on that because of what we went through earlier. The past due accounts and stuff, but we gotta figure out somehow to start getting people hooked up with water and preferably inside the district.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we can't afford it outside because we gotta run infrastructure and all that. There shouldn't be any reason why
We can't run it.
somebody got a line running right down there in the front of their house that we can't put them a tap in there if they want one. But it's gonna be up to y'all to either do it on the website or send a letter out, pick out the ones that say, if say pick out 30 people to send a letter to them, and if we get 10 out of there, we're 10 better off than what we would,
Absolutely. I love this idea.
and keep track of them. So
I love this idea. So,
how much time do you think you need to do?
so here's what I would like. is for refrigerator. So, if I could, if one of you would be my go-to person. And as I go through and come up with the letter, the area in which we're going to try to target, then get some direction from that person. And then we'll send out the letters, make sure it's what you want in an area that you want. And then we'll send them out, and then I'll let you know, after that, then I'll let you know how many came back undeliverable, how many responded. I'll see if we can't follow up with phone calls to the person as well, and then how many we actually get by March's meeting.
I'll run the phone on this one if you want me to.
I mean, it's
I think it's something that maybe every month, one each.
Yeah, we can swap out, once a
Just
month.
so, just so we can get a feel.
I think I'll volunteer for the first month if that's what you
We
want
need
me
to
to do.
figure out what's,
and I'll run some
whether
numbers.
we can or can't, you know.
So I've kind of played with some stuff because we have some money, and I'll point out when we get to my report that's in capital asset, to where we make investment in our capital asset. So that is investment in your capital asset. And so there you have money that I budgeted in the budget that we can pull from for this very thing right here. And so that's where I can pull where the actual pipe and stuff goes in the ground. That's a capital asset. The actual letters and stuff like that will have to come. I can do it out of a couple of tools, and I can move some money around into office to compensate for that. So there's money there for me to be able to do it. And it won't be that expensive to run 50 letters out. We run 50 letters out the first time, and out of 50, we get 10 or 15 of them. We get 20 of them. We can do it and schedule them. And we will have paid for the postage and the office supply. And then we'll pull the money out of capital investment.
Okay.
So I can make this work for the board.
I just have a question. When we went out to the field trip and look around the system, there's some places over here on Trip that where the water line runs in front of their properties, right? But we don't use that pipe. So if they want to connect to water, how are we going to connect them?
They'll come underneath the road. They'll bore underneath.
They'll just bore underneath.
Bore underneath the road.
But that'll be more expensive, right?
What's more expensive on us, yes, sir?
On the customer,
Yeah.
on them, right?
Oh, okay.
That's you had mentioned we use that Trip tower because there's not enough use for it, right?
Correct.
Right. So how much would it be enough use? That's something I wanted to ask PSC, and how much water is there in the Trip tower? And if there is,
What is the?
what's if we're gonna use it, where's that water going, or where is it just sitting there, or how can we?
If there's water in the Trip tower,
Yes.
there's not in. Well, there might be a little bit, but it's not being used.
Trip or not?
No, Trip.
Trip.
There's no water in that one either.
No, Knox there is.
Knox is.
We use Knox for the whole district. Trip is just sitting there.
We're misinformed.
I heard that.
I was always told Knox didn't have a lot.
So
It's not.
Okay.
PSC.
The short answer or that question is I have to look into give you a number, but it's not a small number. It's not a few houses. It's not 20 houses. It's not 100. I mean, we're talking
Thousands.
about almost probably double your water use right now, with current levels. To need to put the in. Could we, with less water use, possibly still use it? Yes, but I'll have to run some numbers and calculations. And even at that point, it would most likely take a field test. Meaning, we think you're at the right amount. We think you have enough demand on the system, usage, that you could put it back in service and test it. And then you'd have to go from there. I can't give you a definitive number right now.
Yes, that tank holds 2 million gallons. If you used 1.5 million gallons, the average house uses about 300 gallons a day. So you're looking at 4,000 additional connections.
Garbage in, garbage out.
And that the minimum that you can put water in that tower. What's the minimum?
Yeah, I mean, to actually use it and get turned over to where you weren't just paying for water from Odessa and flushing it on the ground to maintain quality.
you would need probably 3,000 minimum. Don't quote me on that, but
3,000
actually-
houses.
to actually put it online and get some use, and that's not even using the full tank. That's only using a third tank.
Right.
That's just to put it online and get it going. That's a lot.
Well, they're building this junior high right beside it, which is not gonna be connected to it. So that's kind of sounds crazy, but that's the real. And would that help? Connecting this, how much?
Every connection will help, sir. Every single one, you put on commercial connections, residential, everything.
Man, it'll need to be so.
You're over 5,000 sections now, and we're using less than half of the Knox tank right now. The Knox tower is in hacking service. And typically, that tower could be turned over 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The more times you turn the tank, one of those towers over in a day, the better it helps maintain your residual. The less chance you have of any buildup in the tank because you're deep cycling it, so you don't have any contaminants growing, bacterial, right? So right now, we're not doing that. We're filling it up once a month to make sure that we keep the upper half of that chlorinate. But on your daily usage, we're topping out at 15 feet. And then going back down to 10.
Wow.
And we're staying in that range to maintain system pressure and water and turnover water so that you maintain your residual for the use standards and to keep the water safe and drinking. So the alternative to that is putting more water on the ground, which costs you that money.
Lots of money.
You got a system that will be good for you for years to come, but it's ready for growth. This system has to grow. So right now, but if you've got a good system, you can see more people on it.
Right.
No, we need more money.
Or if you can find somebody that wants to buy water from you guys instead of buying it, with y'all buying it from us, if there was more.
We can sell to somebody else.
Or whatever.
Huh? Doesn't allow us
So
to.
that value yourself.
That sucks.
Tell you, any restaurant up there would be nice. Our own hemisphere.
And all this came because we got faulty information when we took over from the city and Tommy ran with it. And we put in all these things that we didn't need.
Yeah, but we got them put in. So,
Okay.
you got any more questions, Kevin? You get
More answers?
what?
You don't have questions.
No, I'm good. So I'm gonna work with Troy and we'll draft a letter. I think after we draft the letter, Mr. President, I'll email that letter out to the entire board. So it will be approved for everyone as you rotate through. And then that way everybody's approved, especially you since you're our leader. And then Troy and I'll run with it and then we'll rotate and hand me off.
We don't need to vote on that either then. It's just a simple procedure we're changing. Timothy Pond.
Does that need to be done in executive? Can we discuss that?
It's whatever your preference is. If you want.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, agenda item 14, discuss, consider, take action as necessary regarding removal of a director, Timothy Pond, pursuant to Texas Water Code 491052. And that's by the ECUD board.
I make a motion that we follow the regulations based on the water code to remove Director Timothy Pond from being a member of this board for having missed more than 50% of the meetings.
Okay, and from what I understand, he hadn't actually run the full term.
He has not.
I mean, technically, he's got another.
He's got another year
come
now.
in or whatever before we.
Well, his aunt was elected the same time I was. He replaced his aunt, so her term is when mine's up.
March.
Yeah,
Well,
this March.
Debbie,
Y'all better find somebody to run.
No,
So,
Wait.
so Mr.
Next year,
Pond,
March next year.
Mr. Pond was appointed to the board in April of 24. His first meeting was May of 24. So his full 12 months of being a board member would be May of 25. While this meeting, I do believe, since he is absent, he will have already missed
More than that.
50% of the meetings from May of 24 to
February.
February of 25. So without him being here, it is under my impression that the board can move forward, even though his 12-month year anniversary is not until May.
Okay.
So what I would look for the board is to give myself and the new attorney firm the ability to draft a letter, because it'll have to go before TCEQ. And then there's a period of time for him to review the
They've got
termination.
30 days to
And so
rebut it.
if this motion passes in the motion, if the board will give me direction to work with our new attorney, then she and I will set forth the termination letter and the letter to the TCEQ.
Okay,
Okay.
I make a motion. Is that okay?
Yeah.
To
Director
do,
Kelly, Director Kelly, may I ask, when is, Director Pond's term officially over?
March of 2025,
Expired?
May of 2025.
No,
we're
No.
reelected in March.
okay,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to.
No,
Go ahead and answer.
Mouth shut.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead and answer.
Okay, so Mr. Pond was appointed to finish a term of another elected board director. And so his term would finish, the completion of her term in 26.
Yeah.
In November of 26 is when his term would expire. But his 1 year of attending meetings would expire in May of 25. And once we get direction, I'll visit with you and give you all the dates and everything of when he was appointed, whose position he filled, because TCEQ will want all of that information.
Okay, yes, I mean, he has, just not been to multiple meetings in a row, no excuse.
Yeah, I'll be able to give you all of the meetings that he has been absent and not attended. I'll be able to forward all that and work with you to do this. I just need the board to give me permission to do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I make a motion regarding the removal of Director Timothy Pond pursuant to the water code, that we give Debbie permission to work with the attorneys, follow all the right paperwork, and make sure all that is done the correct ways and sent to TCEQ and Timmy Pond.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Troy Walker and a seconded by Darrell. All in favor? Aye. 4 passes, so Debbie will be in contact with you. We'll give her all the information.
And
Okay, yes,
what-
sir, thank you.
Well, I mean, it's already done. That was where, that one of the other agenda I had sent was to go ahead and pursue taking applications for new board members.
Oh, yeah.
I think that she'll even recommend that that's a little early until we go through the whole process.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because
How soon can we start looking for another board member or family to come?
So you have 60 days, after the vacancy to fill that. But yes, let's notify, Mr. Pond first, start that process, and then we can put an agenda item, for possibly March meeting.
And what if he never responds to the letter by,
Then it's a moot point by March and we move on.
okay. All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item 15, receive general manager's report regarding the following budget to actual finance. customer delinquencies, discounts, collection referrals, and customer complaints.
So in your package, there is a budget to actual.
Which is that, you know,
I was giving them heck. It went out.
It's towards the end.
budget to action.
Yeah,
It just
like,
died.
like this.
Yeah,
Needs a new battery. Yeah. Battery's just dead.
So it looks like this.
2 pages on ours, so it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, maybe 3. I think it might be. So in looking at your budget to actual, there was a little bit increase in your revenue for the month of January for a total revenue of $694,437, which is about $23,000 increase from the prior month. Then if you'll go down into the expenses, if you look at the expenses, and where it has payrolls and salaries, that's about $26,000 up. And the reason that it is up is because there were 3 pay periods in January. So at the very end of January, the last was a pay period. So there were 3 pay periods in January. So that's why that number, the payroll and your payroll taxes is higher.
Call in.
We can do it, right?
Yes.
So did,
Take a quick recess while it gets her on the phone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can smoke a cigarette.
That's exactly where I was going. I'm not gonna lie. That's where I was headed.
We're gonna start without you.
That's fine. That's fine, John.
Time to start baking.
when you're in battery or something? I have no clue.
Maybe that charger's not charging fast enough.
Might be the charger, might be the computer, might be the cord. I don't know what it is. I think it's so bad that my thinking.
Very well, where were the expenses at?
The expenses.
Okay, Nicole, we got
So-
you on. Laptop won't hold a charge for some reason.
That's okay.
We're taking a short recess while we got this situated.
Well, we're fixing to start back. I had you on the floor.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Debbie.
So the expenses, the only significant increase that there was, again, was in the payroll and the payroll taxes. Because if there was 3 pay periods in January, the very end of January was a pay period. And so that's why that jumped. But other than that, the actual expenses, if you'll notice your water bill to the city of Odessa was down about $7,000. But yet your revenue was up, which is a good thing. That's real good. Of course, so then if you go into the second sheet, you can see the expenses are pretty much online. In fact, if you were to take a percentage, pretty much everything is in line percentage wise of budget to actual of the percentage of where we should be, because at this quarter, this time period, we should be somewhere around 39%. And so that's exactly where we're at on target. And so the actual expenses again are in line. So if you go to the third sheet, Then I'll point out where it says capital outlay water master plan is where I had noted earlier in the meeting that I have some budgeted money that we can use for those taps. So that's where we can pull that money from. And then as you move yourself all the way down to the bottom, your net total shows $74,522,000 is what your profit was for the month of January. But if you add back in that third pay period, you would have been at 101,000
Wow,
profit for the month.
that's good.
Yeah, so that's real good.
How many extra pay periods we got in the year?
I mean, pay period
Extra.
extra. I think there's two more
Two more.
extra that we do.
Yes, sir.
I think there's two more. Okay. So
I used to make here and I do.
moving on to your actual delinquency numbers. So in January, customers that were delinquent, there were 441 customers out of your 5,200 that were delinquent. And out of those that were delinquent, there were letters that were sent out notifying that they were delinquent. There were phone calls, because we've started making phone calls in-house to follow up. Staff does that to remind them that they've received a delinquent letter and that your bill is still due, and we still need you to come make your payment, because on Monday, we're going to cut your water off. So there were, out of the 441 that were delinquent, there were only 45 customers that we actually turned their water off
That's good.
The rest of them paid.
because they had not paid.
I mean, the rest of them.
Everybody else came in,
Caught up.
came in and paid. Mhm. So then out of those 45 today, there are 6 that have not made their payments still, and they still are without water.
There's one
Those
lady on next door asking for help paying for a water bill.
Okay. And so then one of the things is how many of those have gone to Southwest, which is the third party that we use for collection on past dues. So far, none of those have out of those 6, because we're still trying to help them and get their water turned back on.
How many total were there that were delinquent?
441.
How much we charging for the letter?
We charge $10.
And why is it $6,650?
Well, because part of that's overlap. And part of that could be a different, another letter as well.
Just seems a lot of money for a letter. Yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, that's that part of it. So then other things that are going on in the district is, one, we have GIS training that will occur next week for our tablets, and to also be able to go on to the map and do the platting when we have subdivisions or lots that are 1 acre lots that are being divided into 2 acres or 5 acres. And so we're having training on that in-house so that our staff can be brought up to date in the new updates that we have. That'll be taking place. And then there are a number of annual reports that will be due to TCEQ that I'll be working with PSC that'll come due in May. So we'll start working on all of those. And then the last thing is that 42nd Street was widened and then re-cemented and paved. And unfortunately, even though it was in the drawings for the engineer that the contractor used, there was an inspector that went out there and looked at it. ECUD staff even pointed it out and had text messages back and forth. 9 of our valves
Are covered up.
were cemented and then covered up. So because ECUD staff kept records, pictures, and a meeting that we had last week with the county with roads, it's been determined that Jones Brothers and maybe the engineer is responsible for 2, but Jones Brothers predominantly. So the engineer and the contractor were not at the meeting.
We're not one.
We're not
at the meeting.
And for some reason, they were not at the meeting. But it has been rescheduled for tomorrow afternoon. And so I'll be attending that meeting because when this was discovered, I immediately called the county, the commissioner, the county judge, and told them, please do not release the retainage or pay their final bill until they have uncovered our meters. We have to be able to get to our meters to exercise them, or in the event that we have a water leak, to turn them off. And right now, I can't get to any of them that you've covered up. And it is not the responsibility or the expense of ECUD to repair this mistake. And so I'll be attending a meeting tomorrow.
Has the county commissioner released the final payment?
No, they haven't
Thank
done
God.
any. They haven't done
Thank
any.
God.
No, I don't. Audits, no. So
I didn't mean they followed directions. Sorry.
Do you think, they're gonna try and renege on it?
I don't think so.
They don't have a
Mr.
choice.
President, I don't think they will. I think that all the evidence that was given to them this week was sufficient enough to show that we had gone above what we needed to do to educate the contractors involved, and that we were told that they would take care of all that at the end of the project. And so we're at the end of the project and it needs to be done. But we have text messages, photographs, and everything. So we have protected ourselves. But I will go back out. I will attend that meeting tomorrow afternoon, and reiterate that they're going to have to. Somebody's going to fix it. Somebody's going to fix it. But just to let you know, I am on top of that. Okay. So.
Hold the feet to the fire. You didn't even back up.
I think I'm good. But if I do, I'll holler at you. And
If you would,
you want me to
send
call
us
you,
an email. Just send us an email. Let us know what
What the outcome was.
okay.
all right.
Nothing to vote on there.
We good on that? Everything that you need?
Yeah, unless y'all have any other questions for me.
I think we're good.
Could they say, well, the county doesn't have to do nothing with ECUD, so we're gonna have.
Well, but see, here's the deal. Yeah, everybody wants to blame somebody else, but here's the deal. The commissioners made us get all our stuff done before they would do that. Why? Okay, so they were aware that our stuff was there. And the fact that our guys got out there and showed them what's going on, told them about the problems before they even covered them up, and they still did it anyway. They neglected their responsibilities. So.
And I don't know what they did, but they put a valve in the middle of the road and cemented it, and then came back and dug it up and did it all over again. I don't know what they're doing there, but they did that in 3 or 4 places.
They screwed up the valve.
So, and the other conversation that I had was that our specs are that we put a 4x4 cement cylinder on top of it to protect everything. And so one of the departments had decided that instead of having concrete on the top with our metal handhole cover to get to our valve, to just asphalt over all of it. So when you do that, asphalt starts doing this. So now your asphalted road, you'll be able to go like this, and you'll go dip, and you go long dip, and you go long dip. And so I also discussed that with Jeffrey Avery when I was at the meeting, and he said, I don't know who instructed y'all to require your contractors to put asphalt on it, but go back to the way it was and do it exactly how you want, Debbie, and make sure that it's cement.
Who messed up on Trip with that one valve there where the cement's up far above that? They're fixing it now.
It's fixed now. Jones Brothers.
All right.
No, Trip was Reese, wasn't it?
No, I think all those Jones brothers.
No, Reese Albert's doing Trip.
All right.
Trip is Reese Albert, but 42nd,
But he's talking about that one on Trip in like Riggs.
oh, that would be Reese Albert.
Yeah, that's Reese Albert.
That's Reese Albert.
Okay, agenda item 16.
Thank you, board.
You're welcome.
Nicole? Are you there? Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Our previous council. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, previous council had an agenda item on here to receive general counsel's report, including but not limited to tax matters, pending contract issues, open records requests, litigation, reporting requirements, and other legal issues, if any, and take action as needed, including discussion regarding Texas Ethics Commission requirements for the district. Now, I don't know exactly what that's about, but make sure that we are in compliance. So that's one item that you're going to need to address with them and kind of find out where we're at and what we need to do, if anything. And hopefully, if need to, we can do it next month.
Was that typically a standing agenda item that y'all saw each month?
The tail end was not on the, with the Texas Ethics Commission. That's new.
Oh.
But I think all the other
Okay.
was in general, if there was anything, but normally there's not anything, but this specifically was just making sure we were in compliance with this Texas Commission, Ethics Commission requirements for our district.
Okay, well, I'll get with him and kind of go over that, and if there's anything I need to report back for next month, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Future agendas.
Well, do we need to discuss any agenda items in the future, or we'll take care of that next month? If you got them? Okay. Nicole, you got anything else for us? Because we're fixing to adjourn.
No, is next meeting planning in person March 12th at 2:30?
It'll be the second Wednesday of the month.
Second Wednesday of the month.
Yes, it will be the 12th.
It will be the 12th, yeah.
At 2:30, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to confirm. Okay.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Go ahead.
We can speak now.
Nicole. I will,
Yes.
we'll get you that, and Debbie will be getting with you.
I don't have any.
Okay.
Oh, it's all right there.
Yeah.
Any of the legal stuff.
Okay,
So,
so-
be involved.
Yeah, and looking forward to doing, yeah.
Yep, well, I look forward to meeting all of y'all in person in March. And Debbie, I'll be in touch in the next day or so after I talk with Mr. Wilburn, getting everything transferred over and any ongoing issues.
Okay.
Okay. Is that good? You good?
Okay.
Any questions on?
There is one item I was gonna ask you about. And,
Okay, we're done with her though, right?
yeah, I think we're there to go.
Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest, whatever, is that a lot of the things, the litigation that we have going on and certain things to save the district money, I don't mind reaching out to Nicole and trying to bring her up to speed on as much as we can, because then you're not paying two attorneys to do that.
Yeah.
So if the board wants me to do that so that she is,
Yes.
instead of here, she's here, and then she'll have to go from here to here to get educated. And then it doesn't cost us much. Otherwise, we're going to get double billed. And I don't know that I have enough money in the budget.
Yeah, let's.
So,
That's fine.
so if y'all want, if you want,
Just make sure we stay on board and understand what's going on too.
sure. And I don't mind if-
One thing I think we touched on it the other day about the lawsuit against the city on,
The rates, the water rates.
what are No, it wasn't the rates. I don't, always discussing whether, how much they had sold us, how much they did and implementation. That's probably, I mean, we can hammer that till cows come home. And I don't know if it's worth pursuing legally. We just bite the bullet. It's passed, the money's gone, and whatever. And just move forward and quit.
May show some good faith with the city if we just drop it.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing is I did a test, and so for November, December, a 3-month test. And so we had been overcharged about 200 and it was less than $300. And so the percentage factor of
Is so
doing that
small.
is so huge that any number in there would cause it to be less or more because of how it's.
What do we need?
So-
This young lady has something to,
So
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you back, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
do we vote to adjourn?
I have something I'd like to say.
we're done.
I own several pieces of property. I have RV spaces and mobile home spaces.
Yes, ma'am.
And, if you, and I'm sure y'all are aware, we've got people out here on small lots with a double wide. It's got as many as 6 RVs around it. Your rules state